Okay, we're going.
Let's go.
Oh, dude, I saw the World Baseball Classic.
You did?
Well, I didn't watch it, but I saw at the gym the Venezuela one.
Oh, yeah, versus U.S.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the final?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right,
yeah.
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, oh, cool, I know something.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it was cool. It was exciting.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Welcome to the Pretty City Podcast, episode whatever.
We are notorious for the hot start.
Oh yeah,
And this is no exception.
no exception.
Hot
This
start.
is a tired hot start for me. My name is Devin Reno. I am a surgical technician.
There it is.
Personal physique and performance coach, and least successfully, but most importantly, independent wrestler. Yeah, Devin Reno.
Yeah. It was going so well. And it did. It finished perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm Christopher Landon Anthony Streeter, also known as CLAS. I am a clinical psychologist, a.k.a. doctor, a.k.a. mind doctor, a.k.a. awesome.
Yep, I agree.
And a independent professional wrestler and one half of the greatest tag team in the history of the world, the Pretty City Express.
Dang right. I'm gonna be really good about cussing this week.
Yeah. That's a good goal to set.
Which
all of us.
I was thinking about. I woke up today. I won't lie, like within an hour
Nice.
from now.
Nice.
I was thinking about what we did this week, and I could not think.
Yeah.
Because it was local. We didn't travel.
Yeah.
I was like, what? We wrestled, but where do we wrestle?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it was our show.
You know what's funny about that is I had it wasn't a panic attack, but last week when Danielle was like, we were talking about plans for the weekend, and my mind just went completely blank about what we were doing last weekend. Because I was like, it's not Denver, it's not Albuquerque, it's not, like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And she's like, you're here. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But same, it just went blank. It was like, we've been traveling so much that it felt so out of place having a local show.
Yeah, it did. And this is like where we wanted to be a couple years ago, where this is just another date.
Yes.
Like it kind of felt like that.
So
Like,
true.
It was like, and I had that conversation. I think we talked about it last time because it was after the Vegas show where I was telling those kids like, zoom out, dude.
Yeah.
Like, your home promotion should just be another date. It shouldn't be the thing you're looking forward to for 2 months. You can look forward to it, but it shouldn't be your sole focus for 2 months.
Yeah, I think the difference is to that point is I think we both really were looking forward to it for the sake of sleeping in our own bed, not traveling,
Yes.
and all of those things. Not because it was this is our WrestleMania, we need to ball out.
Yeah.
It was just okay, another date, but we get to sleep at home.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's you still look forward to it, to your point, but for different reasons.
Yeah, how was your week?
It was pretty good. It was a standard week at work. Got my workouts in, went to training, hit legs yesterday. That was, yeah.
It was your birthday.
It was also my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, birthday was on Wednesday. It went well. I don't know. This might be fun to talk about on the podcast. What we were talking about before we started recording is, so we've talked to you guys about our routine and our lifestyle and things like that. And so if you think it's weird, you're used to it by now, at least, if you're listening.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's normal for us.
Yes.
And so my family and non-wrestling friends called me to wish me a happy birthday, and they're like the question I got from everyone is, what are you doing tonight? How are you celebrating? And I was like, well, I just got off of work and I'm going to go to training now. They're like, oh, so is Danielle going to make you something when you get home? I said, no, I told her not to because I have 8 ounces of ground beef that I'm going to be eating for dinner that's already made and ready to go.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. So what are you doing this weekend or tomorrow? I'm like, I have a show in San Diego on Saturday, and I'm going to get tan on Friday, and I'm going to do all these, go to the gym and do my normal routine. And then it just would, get silent. But my grandma was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And then my parents were, sweet and oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I had friends going huh.
Yeah.
They think something's wrong. But, we were talking about, man, for me it was I am such a creature of habit, as we've established, that if I'm going to go out to eat on a Wednesday, that's going to then completely maybe a little bit physically, but completely throw me off mentally for the rest of the week. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm off. I ate this many carbs. I had this much fat. I feel like, et cetera, et cetera. And I usually, if I feel like that, because I cheat on a Sunday, that's on a Monday. So now I'm behind for the
Yeah.
show on Saturday. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, there's so much unnecessary stress where to me, it just makes me happy to stick with my routine. And I have things that I really enjoy doing every day. So it's like, this is so cheesy, but every day to me is like exciting and special.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
So that's how my birthday was. Long story short, I really enjoyed it. Work was busy, but not bad busy. And then training was great. My drive to training was great. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah. How was your? Oh, sorry. Did you have a follow up?
Well, kind of on that note, it's funny you say that. Like even your friends that are your age were saying that because I had a conversation yesterday with a friend, and she was talking about how she's a little bit younger, but her friends it was all birthday drama. Like everyone's birthday is coming up, everyone had plans and they like overlapped, and it was all this drama. Like, oh, you're gonna talk to me like that the day before my birthday, and I was like, this sounds exhausting. I was like, just wait until you're older and nobody cares about birthdays. But then
Yeah.
now you're making me think people do care. It's just me.
I know that's see.
Because I think since I was, the last time I did something special for my birthday was my 21st.
Sure.
And that was because my friends are like, no, we're doing something.
Yeah.
So like we made it a deal. And it wasn't even like, oh, let's go get trashed. It was, oh, we can go to this wave pool rave that you have to be 21 and over
Yeah.
now. Like you can do that kind of stuff. So we did that. And then before that, when I was like 13, I was like, I don't want to party. Like I just want my friends to come over.
Yeah.
So I've always been that way. So just hearing how exhausting people are about their birthdays and like the entitlement and the spit, I was like, oh my God, this is like a wedding every year
Yeah.
for some of these people. Like,
Yeah.
literally, you're going to treat me like this the day before my birthday. And it was like, just not giving in to something. You know what I mean? Like, I was
Exactly.
like, dude, what is happening? Like, you're a year older. That's it.
Right.
It's cool. It's fun. But, like, I don't know. I think it's a little much sometimes. So,
Yeah.
I agree. Like, the routine thing. And just, like, a lot of times it'll be, I'll get the text in the morning and I go, oh, yeah. And you move on, and then
Yep.
they're like, "Oh, it's your birthday?" You're like, "Yeah." And they're like, how old are you? And now I have to think.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Oh, I'm too old now." Because
Yeah.
last year someone was like, "How old are you turning?" And I was like, 27.
Yep.
And they go, "Oh, it's your golden birthday or whatever." 'Cause
Yeah,
it's the
April
27th. And I
27th,
was
yeah.
like, "Oh my God, I guess so." But as a kid, I thought that was so cool, and then it happened, and I was just at work.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's funny.
But yeah, it's so weird. And also, speaking of birthdays, it's funny because I'm going to go the opposite here. My mom's birthday is the same as yours.
Uh-huh.
So Wednesday, I skipped training because, first of all, Anaya, I'm going to put her on blast. My mom was like, "Hey, I want to do something with just the kids for my birthday. Just like, I just want to have you over for dinner." I was like, "Great, okay, I'll make it happen, whatever day."
Anaya's your sister, by the way.
Yes,
I don't know
sorry.
if you-
Anaya's my sister.
Yeah.
Mercy's my other sister.
Yes.
And so my mom was like, "Hey, Thursday or Sunday?" And I'm like, "I can do Thursday. Sunday, I'll be getting back from San Diego in the morning, so I'll be there
Yeah.
for dinner." And Mercy was like, "Yeah, Sunday works better, but I'll make Thursday work too." And then Anaya's like, "I work 4 days in a row, hose," and she's an overnight nurse. And I'm like, first of all, it's your mom's birthday. We should probably
Yeah.
handle that a little bit better. But that's Anaya.
Yeah.
Anaya is very much like me, just younger, so it doesn't have the filter, which is crazy.
Which is crazy to say.
And so my mom was like, "Fine, can we do today?" Or, yeah, today, my actual birthday, because Anaya had it off. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And so I was like, "I'll make it happen."
Yeah.
So that's why I text you, and I text the people at the training center. And I think Graves was there.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you were there, so it would have
Yeah.
been fine. But I think Graves is back, so I was like, great, they're fine.
Yeah.
And which was actually really interesting. But the point of the story is, it was her 50th.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. And so like everyone at work was treating it really special. My mom got like 10,000 flowers. It was really cool.
Gosh, that's incredible.
When I went over, like Pete sent her some flowers from Colorado. Like there was all this stuff. And when she finally brought all her flowers in, the whole island was just covered in them.
That's cool.
And my mom or my sister, because I got her flowers too, and I am terrible. Well, I'll remember people's favorite flowers,
Well, that's good.
but to me, it's like if they have like a crappy bouquet of your favorite flowers, that's not cool.
Yeah.
You know, because then it's like
wilted
sure,
roses.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I want the brownie points for remembering the flowers rather than the presentation.
Sure.
So anytime I go get flowers, I'll err on the side of their favorite. But if I can't find them or if they're not that, then I'll. And this is for like the women in my life, right? I'll be like, oh, I'll get the ones that I think look nice.
Yeah.
Because I want to be proud of it.
Yeah.
And so I got her like this, like it was a smaller bouquet, but it was like very classy in this like circle vase, and it had like. It was weird. It had this. This is what caught my eye. Around the vase was like a ring of the stems, but they like peeled it and then like pasted it against the glass.
Oh, that's
So it
okay.
looked like the flowers like not melted, but kind of went into the vase and
Yeah.
created a ring.
That's super cool.
It was cool, and so I was like, "Oh, I'll get those. That's cool." And so I get it, and then I bring it over, and we're waiting for my mom to get home from work, and my sister's like, "Flowers, real original." And my mom comes in and like puts it down, and she went, "Who are these from? These are awesome."
Nice.
And I went, "That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right."
That's
and she
right.
goes, "Wait, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why'd you get these?" I went, "Because I thought they looked nice." And she went, "Well, you did good." And I was like, "Damn right." So I was
Let's
the only
go.
one that she picked out, besides Pete's. But Pete's were like, like Godzilla compared to everyone else's.
Gotcha.
It was really cool.
Where's your flower shop? Like, where do you go?
Honestly, Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's
Yeah.
is a sneaky flower shop.
Yeah. In a pinch, Trader Joe's is the best.
They're cheap too.
They're very, and they're right up front, and
Yep.
they have succulents too. So
Yep.
like if that's their thing, like my ex usually likes succulents more. So and they have a ton of them. So it was like, oh,
Yeah.
cool, I'll just get that.
Yeah.
And they're unique too. They're
Yeah.
not just like, oh, here's a boring cactus. It was like, what the hell is this thing? This is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Trader Joe's, Fry's is slept on. I think like
Yeah.
they have their own section that's kind of cool.
I usually get orchids from Fry's.
Oh,
Danielle's
sure.
big on orchids, so when I get her an orchid, it's usually from Fry's. They have some good ones. Like we have a blue one down there that I found. It was the only blue one there.
Oh, really?
And it was at Fry's, and I was like, I
that's
have
cool.
to get this. This
Yeah.
is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like too familiar with like flower shops.
Yeah.
I get intimidated with like niche shops like that because I know nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go in. Well, I'm sure they'll be like, it's this guy. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right.
But I don't want to go in. I'm just intimidated by my lack of knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe I should. It'd probably be interesting.
Yeah, my experience, I've done that a few times, but I feel like you can get great flowers that whoever you're getting them for is going to be happy with at a Trader Joe's, at a Fry's, at a Costco. Yeah.
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 It's more so the thought, right? Like I also like it feels and how you go about it.
Yeah.
Like I think some people like flowers is like a check of the box.
Yeah.
But then other times, if you make it like special, then it doesn't matter where you get them. And I always hate well, they die anyways. It's like, well, yeah, but like memories pass too. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Like this experience doesn't matter because it's gonna be over anyways. It's like, okay, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I used to think that as a kid, and then now I hear it, and I'm like, what a miserable way to look at something.
Right.
Like, imagine if your partner was like, why would I go to that show? Like, it's gonna be over anyways.
Exactly.
Like, damn, I guess. Like, you're right, and that
Yep.
sucks.
Yep. It's like I'm glad you said that. You had that like thought as a kid, because what it made me think of is when my parents, when I was little, would tell me to clean my room. I'm like, it's just gonna get dirty again.
Oh, yeah.
What's the point? It's like a child's logic there.
Yeah. They just never go out of it. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, dog, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, the dinner was good. We got Joe's Barbecue. Are you familiar?
No.
It's from downtown Gilbert. It's really good. It's a
Okay.
really good spot. It's not like Southern barbecue. It's more like suburb barbecue.
Suburb?
Like Gilbert barbecue.
Gilbert
Yeah,
barbecue.
yeah.
It's probably
like,
good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like the best brisket you're ever gonna have, but it's clean. It's
Great.
light. It tastes good, and they got some killer cornbread. We didn't get any. She just got like, oh yeah, that was a whole thing. She got just like turkey, chicken, brisket, like the meat, and then my sister, she was like, Anaya, you have it off. Can you go get some baked potatoes? So I'm thinking, like, I was gonna make a snarky joke because they made fun of me for the Wendy's baked potato.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just go to Wendy's, dog. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a baked potato. They're
Yeah.
fresh. They're cheap.
Yeah.
And at Joe's, they were like $10 a potato.
Oh, dude,
And
yeah,
they were
go to
like,
Wendy's.
absolutely not. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, ha ha ha. I'll say go to Wendy's. I'm like, they're probably like actually stressed about planning this, so I'm going to stay out of it.
Yeah.
And so then I go over to the house and my sister is baking the potatoes.
What?
And she's like, she went to a grocery store and she's pissed because my other sister didn't clean them right or something. So the potatoes are behind. And my sister's like, I'm going to ask Mercy to stop by Wendy's for chili.
Yeah.
And I was like, why didn't
Oh,
you just get the
no.
baked potatoes? She
Uh-huh.
goes, and she didn't say anything. And I was like, you know what? She's already put it in the oven. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
So then later, we're still waiting on the potatoes, like a half hour after my mom gets home. And she goes, I'm going to drive to Wendy's. And I go, can I just ask why you didn't go to Wendy's for the baked potato?
Yeah.
Like, you guys made fun of me for the other night, but it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
And she went, I forgot we made fun of you about that. That would have been way smarter. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, then you could have gotten your chili and your baked potatoes and everything. It would have been
Saved
so
all this
easy.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
That did not happen.
that's fair.
But yeah, it was a good night.
That sounds
It was a
great.
really good night.
Yeah. I think the birthday conversation gave me an idea for the listeners. It'd be cool to hear, like, what your favorite or most memorable, exciting birthday is. Or if you just don't celebrate, if you're like us and you're like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, tell us what you guys have done or how you feel about birthdays.
Yeah.
Because apparently we're normal for each other, but maybe
Yes.
not for a lot of other people.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with celebrating your birthday.
No. No, there's nothing wrong. It just, I think the expectations you have of others on your own birthday
Yes.
is getting mad about things you can't control.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Which I feel like a hypocrite because I was a little upset previously on a birthday. I think I told you about it, where I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I feel like that was fair.
That was fair.
But yeah, it was like, next time just don't do anything.
Yeah.
That would have been way better than
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would also like to know because it is super special to people.
Yeah.
Or like their partners go out of the way and do something cool, and like, or their family decides to do something. I always like hearing when like kids do something for their parents because
Yeah.
it's like the inverse of what's supposed to happen. Like that's
Especially
always
when they're
fun.
young, like 10, 12,
Yeah.
when they like can do some things, but they're still very young.
Yeah, yeah,
And like they can't do much.
Yeah.
So it's like really cool to see what creative things they can come up with.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. Let us know. That'd be cool.
All right. So
Do we
is it the segment?
need to talk about
Oh, the
show?
show. Yeah, we'll talk about the show.
yeah.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? So last week it was PCX against Fly Def at Phoenix Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed working with them. Yeah, I think it was good. We heard from a lot of people in the crowd that they're excited to see what comes next with not only with like us and them, but the whole kind of tag division.
Yeah.
There's been some like buzz about it.
Yeah.
That I've heard, which is really exciting and kind of a feather in everyone's cap. I think the tag division is getting very, very strong, which is really exciting and cool.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was good. For me personally, certainly not my best. I had a couple moments in there that I'm gonna learn from and make sure don't happen again. But overall, it was good. And man, like we've talked about, I don't know if we talked about this much in the podcast before, but we've certainly talked about it with ourselves, is that like nothing's going to be perfect and there's always going to be things we'd want to do better. And so learning to, and then actually like taking my own advice on understanding what went wrong, what could be better, flushing it and making sure to make adjustments for next time. So that's how I'm trying to look at my own experience with it.
Yeah, I agree. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
I think, like for me especially, I'm kind of a control freak when it comes to matches. So there was a moment that I kind of like had a meltdown with because what I very specifically needed to happen from the school like security or extras did not happen, and it led to like potential safety hazards. So I was upset, but I think overall it was good in the terms of like this is our first time in a match like feeling out these new characters, like this new
Yeah.
direction we're going.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, like this is a challenge, and it was good. And then it was a fine match.
Yeah.
It just wasn't like great for the characters,
Yeah.
which is that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
we're good at having matches, we're not good at fleshing out characters, and that's what it was reflected. So it was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's about where we're at. But now, like Graves sat us down and was like, yeah, this is how we look at it now. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like now we have a direction to go.
Yeah.
Of progress. One thing I'm super proud of is Fly Def got a phenomenal reaction
Yep.
for the tag, which is great. And then another thing that like secretly I really liked was Young Money attacking us got a huge reaction.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they still care.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna be good.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, we have something here. Because I think sometimes on the indies, it's super easy to just assume the crowd's with you. Because you're like, well, we've been telling this story and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, especially with us, and Max says all the time, we run one show every other month.
Yes.
We just now started doing recap videos
Yep.
at the beginning. If you expect the crowd to remember your match, even from a month ago,
Yeah.
you're crazy.
Yeah.
Think about how busy your life is. That's everyone who watched that match. That's how busy their life is. So if there's, there was like 500 people?
About 500,
600 people?
yeah.
Yeah. So there's 500 people there. If 10% of them even just went back to Instagram and said, hey, I wonder what happened last time. I got a refresh.
Yep.
That's only 50 people.
Right.
So you're only getting 50 people who understand what's going on.
Right.
But the fact that Young Money came out and interacted with us and they got a huge reaction was like, oh, these people remember our match from September and they remember our back and forth and they're invested in seeing this matchup, which is
Yes.
cool. That's exciting for the
Yes.
future. So
Yes.
that was like a little feather in our cap. Like, oh, okay, they do care about this.
Yep.
And more so than like last year we won match of the year. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but what does that mean in terms of emotional investment?
Mm-hmm.
And here it was like, oh, it's being returned. Like, okay, that's good.
Yep.
So I'm excited for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And what we got going on.
Absolutely. But I think it was, a good show overall. It seemed like people were pretty happy with it. They tried a couple different things as far as the format, like,
Oh yeah.
which I think went really well. And so, yeah, I think a lot of people had a really good time with it. And it's cool, man. Like, I always try to reflect after our shows just on how far it's come since the beginning of Phoenix Championship Wrestling. And it's, the production value is only getting better. The talent's getting better, and the crowd's continuing to be invested, and it's growing, and it's really cool. I really love what they've built here, and there's going to be growing pains and frustrations that come along with that. But I think the overall is a significant net positive with everything, which is cool to see.
Oh yeah. I think, and also I'm gonna kind of like allude to what happened with the security spot because I think it's important. It's just a lesson for people to learn. I think, like you said, the talent's getting better, the production's getting better, the standard is upping itself.
Yeah.
So if you're at a wrestling school and you think, oh, cool, I've been here long enough, I'll be on the shows, that's not going to happen if your promotion is worth anything and wants to evolve.
Right.
Because if the standard goes up, your quality of talent also needs to go up. So I think people get really offended when they're like, what the heck, I'm not booked anymore. And it's like, well, dude, like, look at the past year. Have you gotten better?
Yeah.
Are you putting in the work that you need to? Are you matching or exceeding the pace at which the promotion is growing?
Yeah.
Imagine if like WWE or even AEW was still booking like people like local talent on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You wouldn't pay to watch those people. So why do you expect your indie promotion to do the same? If they're investing all this money into production and featuring the talent and marketing and better talent to bring in to help you get better, and you're like, nah, they'll do that and I'll just keep doing my thing.
Yeah.
Why are you not trying to outpace their growth?
Yeah.
That's always our thing, is like, we want to be the standouts anywhere we go. We want people to go, what are they doing on this show?
Yeah.
You know, like they deserve better. And I don't mean that as a put down to any other show, but even in when we're at the top, I want people to go, these guys have something more.
Yeah.
Like, if that's not your mindset, what are you doing? And so with this, there were a couple people involved who have been on shows before. And I think there's just this complacency of like, oh, I have to do a security spot. It's like, yeah, man, like you haven't gotten better.
Yeah.
So, and I need you for this. So at least prove that you're reliable for this. And if you can't because you think you're too good for it and therefore not reliable for that, how are you going to be trusted with a match?
Yeah.
Like that's what I was, because I was reflecting on it and I was like, was I too mean? Like, because I just told him, I go, you screwed up. Like, what was that? Like, what did you do? And I was thinking about it the next day and I'm like, no, they have not gotten better.
Yeah.
Like they did not put in the work to do a security spot, yet some of them feel entitled to be on the show.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you can't be trusted with a 30-second thing in keeping people where they're supposed to be and like keeping everyone safe, the number one priority in a wrestling match, how am I going to trust you in a wrestling match?
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's a big lesson for people to learn. Like, take a look around you. If your promotion or school or even your peers aren't trying to get better, then you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because with us, one of the things I love most about this school is the actual business itself is trying to get better.
Yeah.
And even if I don't understand it, I can respect the fact that it's getting better. So
Yeah.
even if I'm like, because I'm not a business guy. I'm definitely like morale first. I don't care about money. I don't care about any of that thing. I'm more of like the artist mind.
Yes.
So when I like get frustrated, but I can go to them and go, hey, why are we doing this? I don't understand it. This is going to hurt morale. And then they give me the bigger picture. I can at least respect that.
Yeah.
And go, you know what? Okay, we're trying to get better. Then that means I have to get better.
Yeah.
If you're going to raise your standard, I'm going to raise my standard as a leader. And if you're in an environment where you're like, hey, why are we doing this? And they're like, I don't know. Or it's like, hey, can we try to get better? They're like, why? We're doing good. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
unless that's your thing. If your thing is, you know what, I'm just going to be local guy, whatever, and be around, that's totally okay. But also understand you're not entitled to anything more than that.
Yeah.
So like if your promotion is outgrowing you and they're saying, hey man, sorry, there's not a spot on the card anymore for you because our level has just gotten better, but we need you for this spot and you think you're too good for that spot, then like go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else because there's plenty of places that will actually just go, yeah, we'll put you on the show, whatever, pay your money and you'll be on the show.
Yep.
If that's what you want, that's fine. But if you want to get better, you have to match the pace at least of how your promotion is getting better.
Yeah, that's
at
a
least.
great point.
Like if, I don't know, I don't understand that. If you're signed to a bigger company, which I always ask these people, who here wants to be signed to the top companies in the world? And to someone's credit, they didn't raise their hand.
Yeah.
And there was only one person ever that didn't raise their hand. He was just like, I just don't know if I want that.
Yeah.
I go, great. I'm not going to hold you to that standard.
Yeah.
But everyone else in this room raised their hand, so I'm going to hold you to that standard.
Yep.
Because I want to get there. I hold myself to a high standard, and it's not good enough because I'm not signed. So if I'm working this hard, and you guys say you want the same things I am, and I call you out on it, and I go, well, you're not working that hard, and then you get upset. You ask to be held to that standard.
Yeah.
Just say, you know what, Dev, I don't want to make it there. I just want to kind of help out here. Totally fine.
Yep.
I'm not going to hold you to a high standard. Not in like an insulting way, but it's like I'm not going to push you because that's not what you want. I'm about what people want in their life. I'm not about forcing dreams on people.
Right.
So if you're like, dude, I just want to be a local guy, have a couple matches. A ton of my friends have said that. And they get like scared because they think I'm going to be mad. And I'm like, no, man, I want you to be happy. Like, I don't want you to be, you know, this is a hard life. I don't want you to go through this with something that you don't even love.
Right.
Or you don't even want. Because people lie to themselves that they want that because they think that's what people want to hear. But if you're totally cool with being a local guy, just accept that and go, you know what? I'm going to be way happier just doing this.
Yeah.
Then I can go, cool, man. Like, I'll help you do that. Whatever you need, I'll be there for you. And I'm not going to hound you for getting better because if you admit to yourself and to me, hey, this is it, then that's cool.
That's great.
As long as you're fulfilled and happy. And there have been a couple times where I go, I think you're just kind of down on yourself and you're kind of quitting.
Yeah.
I'll let you be down on yourself, but I think you could do more.
Yeah.
And sometimes that'll wake them up. And sometimes they go, honestly, Dev, I don't want more. And I'll go, okay,
Great.
totally fine.
Yeah.
You know? So moral of the story, Surround yourself with people who want to get better. And also, if your promotion or company even that you work for is constantly growing and trying to be better and you're not matching their pace, you're probably the problem.
Yeah.
not,
Yes.
and it's totally fine if you want to coast. It's not okay to feel entitled and also coast.
Yeah.
Those two things don't get along.
Yeah.
Coasting is fine as long as you're like accepting the fact that you're going to get what coasters get.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. Like there are areas of my life where I coast. I coast because I can't give extremes to everything.
Right.
So I coast and they go, "Hey man, like we're going to go with this person." And I go, "Yeah, you should."
Yeah.
Like they want this way more than I do.
Yeah.
Whereas like here it's like, "No, nobody wants this more." So just use context and be smart, please.
Yeah. I think one point I want to make too with the entitlement is I think when you have people, and I've seen this before, when you have people who have been on shows and then they get told, "Oh, we need you for the security spot. We need you for this. You're not on the show." That level of entitlement comes in their preparation for their security spot, compared to the preparation they might put into going over their match and thinking about that and their gear and this and that. But then when you have that taste and then it gets taken away, again, probably because of things you're doing or not doing, then it's like, oh, well, I'm on shows. Like, I don't need to really like go over my spot or like understand that well what I need to do. But that's when mistakes happen. Like, and this just goes to, look, if you're in a very minimal spot on a show, great. Make that the absolute best you can. If you're in a security spot, great. Do everything as well as you can because that's going to stand out. Because what stands out more is people screwing up because they don't prepare or they don't listen or they don't ask questions when they don't understand what's going on, which I think that's a big part of what happened on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And I give time to ask questions.
Yes, you do.
Like I always do.
Yes, you
in
do.
training, too, I'll go, hey, ask any and all of your questions now, even if you think they're dumb. And at the show on Saturday, it was like, because I have 15 other things to do. So I can't come back to this. This is the time dedicated to you guys understanding what's going to happen. And then when I go, please, any and all questions right now, think, ask. And they go, no, we're good. I go, okay, everyone understands what's going on? Yep. Are you sure? Okay, because after this, I'm not going to be back to explain it. Nope, cool, we're all good. Awesome, thank you. And then it doesn't happen. I'm like, why didn't you just ask your dumb question? Like, and then at training, it happens all the time. Hey, here's the drill. Please ask your questions now because when we get into the flow of the drill, I don't want to stop every 5 seconds.
Oh, it happens so much.
Every time. And I go, ask any and all dumb questions. And it could be like, some of the guys go, so do I lock up first? And I'll go, yes. Like, I appreciate you asking now, but yes, please. Like, that's how the drill starts. They go, okay. And I'm like, I would rather have the 3 seconds there than like, all right, guys, get in. And they're like, hang on. Now people are getting cold. Now the rhythm's messed up. Now I'm like, I have to explain. And you just watch the 4 other people go in front of you and you still didn't pay attention. Like, ask all the questions.
Ask the questions because, look, in a lot of cases, you're going to be treated okay if you ask questions. In some cases, they're going to give you crap if you ask questions. That's fine. But how much better is that than, okay, here's the drill we're doing, and then halfway through the drill, you screw it up and you go, I've never done that before. Yes, we're going to make fun of you probably, but that's better than screwing it up and getting everyone cold and, you know, thwarting the rhythm and stuff like that. So, yeah, moral of this story, guys, ask questions.
100%.
Please ask questions.
We even do it in, like, extra spots.
Yeah.
Like, we're not annoying about it, but if we're on AEW or WWE, there will be plenty of times where I'll go, hey, man, dumb question. I just want to make sure I clear it with you before. I'm thinking it's going to look like this. Is that correct? And they go, well, actually, I would rather, because of this camera, like, you do that. And they go, but good question. I go, okay, good. Thank you. I'll make sure that happens. Because if I go out assuming and I do something that producer was like, what the hell is he doing? I'm now an idiot. But if I go before and I go, hey, I know there's a camera there. This is how I was going to plan on avoiding that. How do you prefer? And they go, oh, actually, I would like you to do this. Now they think, oh, he's smart.
He's thinking about it.
Not just, who is this idiot? It's, oh, wow, okay. Or they don't even think at all. They just go, actually, dude, just do this. Great, thank you. But they're not like, oh, what an idiot, he messed up. And they won't even remember the question I asked. They'll just go, cool, our spot went well.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
And
it.
their job is easier now, you
Yeah.
know?
And that's a perfect example of like, yeah, there's plenty of companies that we work for where we're towards the top of the card. And there's also companies that we've worked for that we're doing security spots, but we put preparation into those security spots. We think them through and we prepare the same way that we would for a match because we want it to be the best as possible. Because if we screw it up, like you just said, that's going to stick out so poorly. And then that's like your entry into some of those companies, is if you can be reliable in those spots. They're not going to remember, but they will remember if you screw it up. And then when your name gets brought up, they'll go,
Yes.
So just take pride in what you do and please do it well.
Yes, please. All right.
Now,
The House of Horrors.
House of Horrors. Let's
go.
go. Been jonesing for some horror.
So, I watched, first of all, let's talk about the Oscars.
Okay.
The Oscars. Did you see who won Best Male Actor?
No.
In a leading role? Michael B. Jordan. For that
Oh,
movie,
that's right.
Sinners.
Sinners. Yes.
Yeah.
I did see that.
So, phenomenal job. And then Best Actress in a Supporting Role, The Witch from Weapons.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, big, and Frankenstein had 3 awards won. Sinners, I think, had 4. Weapons had 2. So, huge year for horror.
Yeah.
And I think I've told you about this. Like, horror is like evolving right now.
Right.
We're in like a renaissance.
Yes.
Because it's not like 2010s where Insidious, and look, I like Insidious, but it's like, oh, there's a coherent story. This is the greatest horror movie ever.
Well, because what do they call? There's a name for those horrors where it's just blood and guts.
Like gore.
Like gore. Yeah, it's like something like that. But yeah. It seems like
slasher
slasher
films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like all the stories that you've told in the car and on the podcast, it's like, yeah, these are incredible stories that are very well tied together.
Yeah.
That's totally different than the ones I remember growing up with.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's like what I like about that too is now there's like distinct genres of horror. So like slasher's still very much a thing, but it's all modernized.
Sure.
And like, I mean, I guess the biggest one is like Terrifier, where they've even just like, hey man, we're just gonna have violent deaths in this movie.
Sure.
Like nothing else matters. It's just violent deaths.
Yeah.
And it was like, hell yeah. And then it makes millions of dollars off like a $3 million budget. You know? Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so horror, I think, is just stepping into like a new age. It probably started around 2021, 2022, but now it's being recognized on like an Academy Award scale, which is crazy. I never would have thought that would have happened, but it's cool. And when you have directors, oh, I forgot his name, but the guy who did Sinners, like respected directors stepping into the genre, you're like, oh, this is something.
Right.
You know, like
that tells you it has some steam.
yes.
Yeah.
And Michael B.
interest.
Jordan in the lead. And Sinners it had horror elements.
Right.
It wasn't a horror movie per se, but that's what I also like is the genre bending.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to be a horror movie. We can be, you know, a fantasy historical tale with horror elements in it.
Yeah.
It's like, hell yeah, let's do that. I don't know what that looks like. And then it looks like this piece of art and with musical elements as well, you know? So really, really, I'm really proud of just horror in general. And I know it's like controversial and it always is.
Of course.
Whatever. Say what you want about the Academy Awards. It's still cool that they're getting recognition. It's like, this is such a crazy comparison, but it's like belts in wrestling. Like, yeah, it's fake, but like their recognition, you know, and it's kind of, in terms of art, that's like the most recognition you can tangibly have.
Sure.
Like, you win the title, you know, and I'm talking like WWE, AEW, TNA, ROH, even like those titles with like lineages and all that, NWA, with all that stuff. That's about as recognized as you can get in our art.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the same with these awards, like, well, politics, and they don't even read or they don't even watch all the movies, and it's like, sure. And also, what else do we have?
Yeah.
Like, we have these universally agreed upon, universally recognized awards that you win.
Yeah.
So I think it's the equivalent of like titles in wrestling. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one that did not win any titles, but I still really liked, was Black Phone 2.
Oh, you did it?
I
Okay.
watched the second one.
Okay.
I watched it yesterday, actually.
Let's go.
I thought it was very good. So, okay, now I remember all the names. 'Cause remember
Okay.
last time?
Yeah, it was like Timmy and
So instead of Timmy, it's Finney.
I
was close.
You were super close.
I was close.
Yeah.
Instead of Ruben, it's Robin.
Oh, you were really close.
I know, right?
Yeah. Nailed it.
And then the sister, her name is Gwen. I didn't get that. So Black Phone 2. So if you remember the last one, Finn kills the grabber.
Yep.
And then his sister has the dreams that lead the police
Yep.
to him. Okay.
Yep.
So this one, it's also in the 70s. The last one was the late 70s. This one's the early 80s.
Oh, so this is a prequel.
No, this is...
Early 80s. I'm sorry.
Early 80s. Yeah, so it's a couple years later.
Okay. And this, just so I can remember, there was the grabber and the brother lived in the one house, but then the holding house was across the street. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one, they're in the same town. It's a couple years later. Well, first off, the movie starts in 57. It starts in 1957. It's all cold. It's all icy. And it's this girl, and there's a phone booth with a black phone.
Okay.
And she's in the middle of nowhere, and it's just a phone booth. And she dials this number, and she whoever answers, and she goes, essentially is like, my name's Hope. I found these numbers written in ice. And she has these answers, but you can't hear what the other person's saying. And then she freaks out and hangs up the phone and then starts walking back, right? So fast forward to 82, Finn is now beating the crap out of one of the kids, at school. Mm-hmm. He's just beating. It's like a fight with Robin on the first one, but now it's Finn beating the crap out of some other kid.
Okay.
And Gwen shows up and she's yelling at him you got to calm down. And then she brings him, finally he beats the crap out of this kid. There's blood everywhere. And then she's like, what did he even do?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, he called me out. She goes, did he really need that? And he was like, well, you have to make a show out of it. And essentially that was the new kid in school. And because Finn killed the serial killer, the kid was like, oh, you're the badass who killed the serial killer, and tried picking on him. So Finn just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
So it's oh, he's kind of like the bully now.
Yeah.
But also, they're teasing him about this traumatic event.
Yeah.
So I'm I kind of get it.
Yeah.
And also, you almost killed this kid. That was a brutal beatdown,
Yeah.
So he's got problems. And then Gwen is still Gwen. She's a little more subdued this time, which I thought was interesting. I was like, oh, they kind of flipped. Because last one, she was going off and going crazy.
She was kind of the hero.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And so I like that dynamic in this movie because they flip the main focus. Okay. Instead of it's on him, it's on her. And he's a support to her.
Gotcha.
And so, but he's dealing with his own shiz.
Nice.
And so they move on. They're walking down. This kid rolls up next to him. He's this nerdy kid in his car and basically asks out the sister on a date.
Gwen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Finn's I don't like that kid. There's something about him I don't like. And she's like, well, he's nice, whatever. And so that happens. The dad is still with him.
Okay.
He's clean.
Oh, okay. He alcoholic?
Yeah,
in the first
he was
one?
alcoholic.
Okay.
And so he's clean, but it's still a weird relationship.
Yeah.
And then the dad's kind of scared of Finn now, which
Whoa.
is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if scared's the right word, but doesn't know how to interact with him.
Sure.
So Finn's laying on the couch and the dad's like, hey, what? I'm going to go to bed. You should probably go to bed soon too. And he's like, all right, maybe. And he was like, okay, have a good night. And Finn just stays up. This is one of those
tense, a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So then Finn goes out back and he starts smoking a joint and the sister comes out. But before she does, Finn sees the grabber. And he just has a conversation with him. He's reliving in the basement. And he says something that he said in the first movie.
Yeah.
And then it goes to his vision and he sees the grabber in his yard, just standing there. And so he's just talking to him. And then the sister comes out and she's like, oh, you see him again. And he's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay, well, basically this isn't helping you either, just smoking. So then fast forward, I'm trying to think of how they find out. She starts having dreams again.
Okay.
So she has one dream, this kid, in that snowy area.
Right, going back to the very
from
beginning.
the beginning, brutally murdered.
Okay.
You don't see how, but the kid's got a split head and all this stuff. And she wakes up, she's like, oh my God, I had this dream. Then later on, she wakes up and she goes to leave the house.
Okay.
And Finn's like, no, 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 and like wakes her up and comes back. So her dreams are like progressively increasing in intensity, and she's sleepwalking. Well, then the next night, she has another dream, and she walks out to the front yard. She makes it to the front yard, and she starts walking. And in this dream, one of the kids is like burned alive, like chopped up and burned alive.
Yeah.
And she sees him on her front lawn, and then she steps in the blood, and then she keeps walking because the phone rings. So she hears a phone ringing. So she goes and like jumps over this fence. You're like, where's she going? She goes to the basement where Finn was.
Whoa.
So she goes there. The phone's still there. She answers it. And it's Hope from the beginning. The girl.
The girl who called?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she's like, what's your name? And it's like, oh, my name's Hope. So all of her answers at the beginning of the movie are answering Gwen's questions from present day.
Whoa.
So I was like, oh my God, like there's like a time loop thing here. And so she hangs up, or it goes static, and she hangs up, and Finn's in the basement.
Okay.
And he's like, we gotta go. Like, and she goes, how'd you find me? He was like, I followed you. I wanted to see where your dreams were taking you, essentially. And it took her to the basement. So then she was explaining, we have to go to this winter camp because Mom was there. And he's like, you're just having bad dreams. She's like, I talked to Mom. Like, Mom was here, and these kids are in trouble. Like, these kids were killed there. And she goes, we have to go. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So, whatever. They find out about the winter camp. It's like a Christian camp.
Okay.
And the dad's like, you're not Christian. And they're going under the guise that they're going to be counselors.
Okay.
So they're like, well, you told us to get a job. This is what we're going to do for a couple weeks. And it's like, this is weird. It doesn't add up. Finn's like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
So then she gets the boy to go with her.
The date.
Yep.
Okay.
And then right before they leave, Finn's like, all right, I'll go.
Yeah.
So them three go up there, and it's a huge blizzard that happens. They finally make it. Of course, they're the only three. Nobody else is there besides the support staff.
Yep.
So you're like, all right. And then it's a Christian camp, and like state law, they have to have men and women separate housing.
Okay.
So, or for minors. And so they split Gwen up from the two boys, and then she ends up having another dream. But she repeatedly has these dreams of like these boys being brutally murdered.
Yeah.
And then one of the nights, finally, she like wakes up and she goes over to the boys' cabin.
Yeah.
And she sleeps there. And then the next morning, the like leader is like, I could lose my license for that. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
And then she was like, okay. Well, then the next night she has another dream, but now she actually sees the grabber. So the kids are haunting her, right? Like the kids themselves.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is like one of them has this is a gnarly scene, but he has his head cut in half, like diagonally.
Okay.
And so in her dream, he's like trying to get through the window, and the grabber smashes the window and throws it down. And the kid's trying to get through, and it splits right where his head was. Ooh. So half of his head falls onto the ground in front of her, and half of it is him like standing up outside the window. And they're both like gushing blood and trying to breathe. And it's like horribly gory. You're like, oh my God. So then the next night she has a dream. And Finn the phone keeps ringing at that phone booth.
Yeah.
So he finally figures out it's the grabber, because the grabber tells him. But every time he hangs up, the vision stopped for her. So they're like connected.
Yeah.
So finally they like come clean to each other, like, oh, I'm having these dreams. Or Finn comes clean about having the grabber on the phone. And so it basically leads to this night where she follows one of the kids. He is at the phone, and it's the kids this time.
Okay.
And they're like, we need help. We need you to find us. We need you to find us. We don't know where we are. Kind of like the first time.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, where are you? They're like, we don't know. It's dark. It's cold. We don't know. And so they start like shaking the phone booth. And then she goes and follows one of them to, it's like this kitchen, but it ends up being where the grabber is. And the grabber takes over the phone call and is like, you made me kill my brother, who I loved more than anyone. So now I'm going to kill you, but I'm going to kill your sister first. So they chase after Gwen, and she finally has to fight the grabber. And they all walk in Finn's not there yet, but like the support staff walk in, and she's getting thrown around by him, but they can't see him.
Right, because she's asleep.
She's in this like dream
Yeah.
realm. So he's like grabbing her and throwing her against the wall, and they think she's possessed.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And so she's getting destroyed, and then finally like the ovens come down and they're on fire, and he's about to throw her in it. So they go and grab, and then they're all trying to help her, and the grabber's like beating up all of them. Then Finn comes in and he bails. So he like drops her,
Yeah.
and he looks at Finn and he just walks away. But Finn can't see him either in that dream realm. So you're like, okay. So then the next night, 2 of the support staff are like super religious. They're all super religious, but these are like the
Extras.
yeah, like she called her a sanctimonious cunt. Like that like this is when
Yeah.
a sister
Yeah,
starts
yeah,
coming
yeah.
back. I'm like, oh hell yeah,
All right,
like, this
let's
is,
go,
yeah.
let's go.
And so they already don't have a good relationship, the Gwen and the couple, and they're just like annoying, whatever. But then she explains her visions to the leader,
Okay.
Armando.
Okay.
And Mondo's like, how do you know those details? Only the cops know.
Yeah.
And he essentially says like, the last year your mom was here, when they closed down, 3 boys went missing. They were killed. We don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And you know these details that we didn't share.
Yeah.
So he believes her. And then he gives the like picture of that year to him. And Finn sees the grabber.
Whoa.
And he's like, that's him. And he goes, oh, that's Wild Bill. And then the kids in her dreams are carving on the ice lake WBH. So Wild Bill, his last name starts with an H.
H,
And
yeah.
she's like, oh, it's him. So then they're like, okay, we have to figure out, they're at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
And they never checked that because it was frozen over.
Sure.
So they're like, okay, that's where the kids are. We need to find it. And then now it was kind of cool because now they're all on board. They're not like ignoring her. And
Like
that's
the
something,
cops were in the last movie.
yeah, like that's something I liked about this one is Mondo, the leader, was kind of like, whoa, like everything you're saying makes sense. Like he was logical. He was
Yeah.
just like, this doesn't make sense, but what you're saying makes me believe it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I want to help find these kids.
Okay.
And then the 2 other, like the couple were just like, oh, she's the devil, whatever. And they're like,
The
okay.
super religious ones.
Yeah, and they were basically just like, screw off, which I liked. I was like, oh, cool. Like, we're just moving along.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like they have to win them over, you
Yeah.
know? And so the next night, this is one of the most brutal ones. The grabber, like, has her tied up. Oh, yeah, she's sleeping. And they're taking shifts watching her. And she gets up to sleepwalk. And Ernie, who ends up being Robin's brother, is the kid who's taking her out on dates.
Yeah.
Ernie is there watching her, and she stands up to sleepwalk. He goes, no, sit back down. And she just goes back to sleep, but in the dream realm, she's up, and she's walking around. So now she doesn't have to physically leave. And so in that, she ends up like running away from the grabber in this scenario, and she ends up in the basement where they used to be. And then he goes to hit her with the axe and cuts her, but in real life, she ends up getting cut.
Whoa.
And so Ernie's like, oh, she's not here right now.
Yeah.
And she's bleeding.
Yeah.
So then they start freaking out and they're trying to wake her up. And in her dream, she's fighting the grabber, but she can hear them like
Yeah.
faintly.
Yeah.
And so at one point, she runs into the phone booth and like traps herself in there. And then he breaks it and starts choking her with the phone cord. And then he like slits her throat and spins her. So she ends up doing like this circle in the phone booth and there's blood spurting everywhere. Then in real life, she like levitates and starts spinning like a crazy, like a tire.
Yeah.
And then there's just blood all over the room. And they're like, what the hell is going on? And at that point, Finn grabs her. He's like, you have to fight him. You have to fight. He's kicking your ass. And so she like, this is the only cheesy part. I didn't like the dialogue, but she like sits there and she stops spinning and she goes down on her knees. And the phone booth, the top half is covered in blood and the bottom half isn't. So you can see her and she looks like Carrie.
Yeah.
Like, and so she's just covered in blood. And then she just like explodes the phone booth and the grabber goes flying. And she's like, dreams go both ways.
Ooh.
And then she wakes up. So they're like, oh, they're about to go to war in this dream realm.
Yeah.
So then they start getting all of that. And at one point, she has another dream where she sees her. So the next night, she has a dream. She sees her mom. And remember, her mom killed herself.
Yep.
So then she sees her mom, and they go. She's like following the mom. And at some point, they see the phone call again from the beginning of the movie. But this time, the mom is answering the kids.
Okay.
But she has the same answers.
Okay.
So she's like, my name's Hope. And the
Yeah.
kid's like, how'd you know to call us? And she goes, I saw the numbers carved in ice. And they were like, so where are you? And she's like, you're local, because there was no area code.
Yeah.
It's like the same conversation she had with Gwen, she's having with these kids.
Whoa.
And all the answers line up. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool little detail. So then, after that, she goes into the vision of her mom sleeping next to her dad, and she wakes up and like sneaks out of the house. Because remember the paper boy from the first one?
Yeah.
Her mom had the same dream she did about the paper boy.
Okay.
So the mom went and figured out where the house was. And she goes to look down, and she sees the paper boy. And she goes, oh my God. So then she goes, it's Wild Bill. So she runs, and the grabber grabs her, the mom, and throws her in the van. And Gwen's watching it. So the past grabber throws her in the van and gets in the driver's seat. The current day grabber gets out of the back of the van and then like points to the van. And Gwen walks.
Whoa.
So now they're both in the dream.
Yeah.
They're real, though. They're living the vision. He's sitting there. She's on the other side of the van. The old grabber's driving, and her mom's just laying in the back.
Whoa.
And he's like, I'm doing you a kindness. Like, I'm showing you what actually happened.
Yeah.
And she goes, this isn't a kindness, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, you need answers. So I figured before I kill you, like, I give you these answers. He's like, do you know what happens if you die in this realm? And she's like, I wake up. He goes, I don't know. He was like, or you just die.
Yeah.
He's like, I've never killed anyone in this realm. And, like, I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
So maybe you could wake up. You could also just die.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? So they're just having this conversation. Then she gets out, and she realizes the grabber killed the mom and staged it like a suicide.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh my God, like this guy's been tied to him the whole time.
Yep.
So then she wakes up, blah, blah, blah. And they're about to go to war. They're like, okay, let's go. And the dad shows up with a snowplow and is like, hey, I helped. Like, I'm here. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Finn's like, thank God. Like, let's get out of here. And Gwen's like, we're not leaving. Like, we have to fight him. And then the dad's like, what are you talking about? And Finn's like, we need to get out of here. You're not safe. He's going to kill you. And then she calls him out for like, she goes, you're just like dad. You're numbing all your sadness.
Yeah.
You're hiding from your problems, except with alcohol, you're smoking.
Yeah.
And the dad's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And she goes, you know it. You can smell it. You see him. And he goes, hey, you narc. And she goes, you idiot. I can't narc when it's so obvious.
Yeah.
She's like, he knows.
Yeah.
And so then Finn breaks down and starts crying. He's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. You didn't live it, blah, blah, blah. And then the dad's like, these are about your dreams. Like, we have to go. And she goes, they're not dreams. And she explains what she saw.
Yeah.
She's like, Mom didn't kill herself. And Finn's like, wait, what? And she explains the dream that she had. And the dad's like, this is crazy. We're leaving. And she goes, I know what you said when you found Mom. And she told him. And the dad was like, holy crap. And she goes, it's not your fault and it's not Mom's fault. He killed her.
Yeah.
And so then they were like, okay, like we have to kill this guy.
Wow.
So then they go to like war. The only thing I didn't like is like the last battle, which I guess makes sense, but everyone was on the same page. So they kind of just like kill him.
Okay.
Like she goes to sleep on purpose.
Yep.
Grabber shows up. He destroys the religious couple,
Yeah.
which like good.
Yeah, of course.
So it destroys them. And then she goes to the bottom of the lake in the dream realm and kicks up the bodies.
Okay.
So they float to the top, and then he's going after Finn. and then the bodies come up from the ice and like stop him.
Yeah.
And then they trap his leg, and then they just like Finn grabs him, like grabs invisible air, but he knows he's there,
Yep.
and just smashes his face like repeatedly. And then she like chops off his leg and like axes him in the head. It's like a violent death.
Yeah.
But it was kind of just like, oh, the grabber's like, which makes sense. He's like a weirdo, so
Yeah.
he shouldn't be a good fighter.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, okay. Like,
I gotcha.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of jeopardy once they were on the same page, but it was like logically that would make sense. Like
I gotcha.
they formulated a plan, everybody was on the same page. She has dream powers now.
Yep.
This guy really shouldn't stand a chance,
Yep.
and then he kind of did it. He just
Yeah.
like got destroyed.
Yeah.
And then the family was like, "All right, we're all good," and they left. And right before they leave, the phone rings again, but only she can hear it.
Yeah.
Which is before only Finn can hear it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I guess it's for you. Because I can't hear it.
Whoa.
So she goes, it's her mom.
Yeah.
But she's like, for real calling her now.
Yeah.
From, I think it's heaven, is like
Yeah.
they're portraying it as. And she basically explains, like, you did so well. I loved you so much. The kids are here now. So, like, you saved them.
She got them up. Okay.
And then she goes, tell your brother I love him so much. And Robin says hi. And then, like, it ends after that. They, like, get in with the dad, and they're all on the same page, and they're happily ever after.
Gotcha.
But I was like, the thing I really liked about the movie is the dream realm. And this is what Mercy said. They did such a good job nailing it like a dream.
Yeah.
But it was also, like, artistically done. Like, the flashbacks were done in, like, old film.
Yeah.
So it had that vibe to
Okay.
it. So you knew when you were in and out of the dream world.
Which is helpful.
It's super helpful. But also, when they blended, it still looked different.
Okay.
So it didn't look like the movie was shot, and it didn't look like the flashbacks. It had its own vibe.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, this is like, you can see the different realms and how they're portrayed just by the artistic direction that they use
Yeah.
shooting them.
Yeah.
And like that's what I really liked. I was like, oh, they're using like their artistic choices to help the audience. And it wasn't like, oh, we're going to do something cool. It was like, no, this is to set the vibe for
Yeah.
where you're at right now.
Right.
And kind of give you a clue as to like why these people can't see it and all those things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's super cool.
That's sweet. Now, when she was in the phone booth and she would like exploded the phone booth and the grabber went flying, did they give any explanation as to why she was able to do that?
She had been doing research on dreams, like lucid dreams.
So that's
Yeah,
where I was
yeah,
going with it.
yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So they like briefly alluded to like her having that knowledge
Yeah.
and now using it
Yes.
against him. Yeah.
That's so as you were saying that, I was like, I have to ask about that because for me, the realism in it is if you know anything about lucid dreams, if you learn to wake up in your dream, then you can do whatever you want. You
Yeah.
can fly, you can explode things, whatever. And so to me, it was like, oh, they're bringing like this very real element of lucid dreams into this horror film. That's so cool. And that's so
Yeah.
smart. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was there's a lot of things like that where I'm just like, logically that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like I
100%.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
And there was like some horror logic to it, but it was just kind of like, yeah, we're doing this to do it.
Right.
Like
This is
it
the
didn't
world.
feel forced
Yep.
or it was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, I really liked the movie. It wasn't like award winning or anything, but it was super fun.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it.
Now, okay, 1 or 2, which one's better for you?
I think I liked 2 better. Well, I don't know. I liked 1 more because it felt less forced.
Yeah.
Do you know what's weird is I actually thought about this. 1 I liked because it was just like easy to get lost in. 2 was easy to get lost in. This is going to be weird how I'm going to describe this. It's not a theory, but Netflix and other streaming services have started like overwriting scripts with the idea that watchers are on their phones. Have you heard this?
Yes.
So, like, they're making the characters state extremely obvious plot points
Yes.
in the dialogue because people are on their phones and not watching the movie.
Half paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2, I felt like I noticed that more than 1. Like, it was weird.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
1, it was like, oh, if you paid attention, you, like, understood.
You can follow.
But 2, like, the dream thing, it got kind of corny.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I know how to take control of my dreams, and I'm going to use it against... And I was like, you're just explaining what's happening.
Right.
And that was when I was like, oh, damn it. Like,
yeah.
this is for the idiots who are on their phones.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that kind of took me out of it.
I gotcha.
But like artistry of 2 I liked more.
Gotcha.
Like I felt like they really dove into the visual side of it, and because they messed with the dreams a lot more, so I liked that more, and I got lost in the world a little bit more with 2. But with 1, I just felt like it was like I don't care about these people on their phones, whereas 2 they kind of gave into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, damn, like 1 felt more organic
Of course,
dialogue wise,
yeah.
and 2 was like, do we have to say that?
Yeah.
Especially Gwen, because she's so funny and witty.
Yeah.
For her to say such obvious things throughout the movie, I was like, she wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The reason why I like her character so much is because she's like a wild card.
Yeah.
But for her to like just plainly state something, I was like, oh, that sucks.
It's incongruent with like
Yeah.
her personality.
Yeah, with who I view.
Oh, right, of
her.
course.
Like maybe the director made that choice and was like, no, like I want her to have her, because part of it is like her learning how to stick up for herself.
Yep.
But you can do that in like her own way. She doesn't have to
Right.
be so like robotic about it.
Right.
But yeah, I think 1 and 2 were both good for different reasons.
That makes sense.
And 1 was a little bit more realistic, obviously. But two, that was the point of it, because
Yeah.
it was half dreams.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Dang. Great review.
it was so good.
Ah.
I do. I don't think there's a third one coming out, because they kind of like
Wrapped it up.
yeah, they wrapped it up. The boys dragged him down to the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
So that was cool. It was like, oh, it was all for a full circle there. Oh, and then Mondo got to call the boys' parents.
And let him know.
Yeah.
Like, close the loop.
Like 25 years later.
Wow.
Like, hey, I found him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's
cool.
But yeah. I'm trying to think of what I want to watch next. Because now the awards got me all. Oh, Damon told me I got to watch Undertow.
Okay.
So I have to watch Undertow, The Substance, and then I wanted to watch Weapons again and do that, but I might hold off on that.
Okay.
I might watch Undertow, because Damon just texted me out of the blue. I forgot to text him back, but he just goes, go watch Undertow. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
So Damon, if you're listening, I'm going to go watch Undertow, because I trust you.
Yes. Yeah. Heck yeah. They're always good. And like, yeah. It seems like it's cool that we have this segment now and this genre is kind of exploding, going through a renaissance. So it's
Yeah,
like
right.
There's going to be plenty of content for.
Dude, I feel so spoiled.
Yeah.
There's so much, like, horror's just kicking butt right now. If you're not into horror, give one of these ones that were nominated a shot.
Yeah.
Sinners or Weapon, because it's different. It's not just scares to scare. Like they feel like real movies.
Yeah.
Again, you
Yeah.
know, it's like, oh wow, like these aren't just like jump scares. In fact, there's rarely jump scares in them. You're just kind of like, oh, I'm terrified because of the world they built, not
Yeah.
because of a weird moment in music and like having something pop out, you know?
Yeah. I was just reading a description of a new movie. It's Leo's new movie with Jennifer Lawrence. I think Martin Scorsese
Oh, really?
directs. And like the little snip said basically something to the effect of this couple travels to this kind of remote town because they're going to adopt a child, but nothing is as it seems. And then it had the feel of horror element. So I'm curious if that's going to kind of dip into that a little bit.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Especially Scorsese and Leo.
Yeah.
And I like Jennifer Lawrence. She's cool too.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm a huge Leo mark, so I'll certainly be watching that one.
I still have to watch that movie.
Oh, the one battle after another?
Diego watched it twice.
Did he like it?
Yeah. Diego like loved it. He said it was so good.
It's good.
It caught me off guard because that's not a Diego movie.
No.
But he loved it.
Yeah.
Diego's my brother. He's on the spectrum, but he loves movies. Like that's his thing.
Yeah.
So, but he's also super into like animated movies and cartoons. Like he's gonna be an animator one day. His art is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it was weird to hearing him say like, "Oh yeah, I love that movie." I was like, "You saw that movie?" He's
Wait,
like, "Yeah, I
what?
saw it twice." I was like, "Oh my god, I'm behind."
Yeah.
Like, okay. So if Diego says he likes a movie, I'll go watch it.
Heck yeah. Very nice. Okay.
All right.
Is it time for questions?
It is. Do you have questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple. There's one that's going to be kind of fun that's personal to me, but I think I can generalize it so you can have something to talk about too, because I know you can relate to this.
Okay.
So this is from Kyle Jacobson. Kyle Jacobson, the Jacobson family is when I was growing up was a well-known family in my hometown, and so Kyle's little brother Mike was my age. Kyle was 2 years older, and so just an awesome, epic family. So his question was, how did it feel to obtain a good old-fashioned WWE SmackDown on the Jacobson Brothers trampoline circa Y2K? Was this humiliation the beginning of your villain story? And so I laughed when I saw the question, but there, like, so many fun memories. I think I've told you about this neighborhood. It was a cul-de-sac. They lived kind of at the top, and then there were like there were three other families that we grew up with that were like around the same age, that lived in the same cul-de-sac. And so when I would go stay the night at their house and like hang out with them, it was just pandemonium. And they were this is the neighborhood where at one point do you remember slam ball?
Yeah.
We made a slam ball court. So we put 4 trampolines together and then 2 basketball hoops at either end at one of the kids' house.
Holy crap.
And it was pandemonium.
Yeah.
So fun. So there was that, but then so he was 2 years older, and so him and he's tall, athletic, and all the guys were athletic, and so Mike's the person who I got into wrestling with.
Okay.
So we had our own wrestling names, and we were fighting like stuffed animals and pillows and stuff when we were 7 years old. And then we would play the WWE video game on the N64, and we were all about it. And so we'd be screwing around on the trampoline, and then Kyle and his friends would come out and just kick the crap out of us all the time. No matter what we did, no matter how many stunners we tried to hit, they would beat the ever-living crap out of us. And so, Kyle, to answer your question, probably. Probably. But it was just such a fun time. Always a good time at the Jacobson household, jumping on the trampoline and doing
awesome.
all sorts of good stuff. But throwing it to you, I know you have some trampoline experiences too.
Yeah. So we had one trampoline in our backyard, and I would wrestle on that thing for hours.
Yeah.
Stuffed animals. I had storylines. I had different characters I would wrestle as. But ultimately, the big baby face was Devin, of course. Devin Reno. But I would lose a lot. Because even as a kid, I understood the chase is what matters. And so I would lose a lot. And I remember I had these epic stories, and I would, yeah. So that's what happened stuffed animal wise. I was like, all right, I had this frog and this sock monkey that were on there, and I would just wrestle. Oh yeah, and I would go crazy for literal hours.
Yeah.
And I would bring a notebook out there to keep track of things, and then sometimes I would get my sisters to join. They hated it, but I would get my sisters to join, and I would record matches.
Nice.
And I made the OWF, the Outstanding Wrestling Federation.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I would edit the matches into TV shows.
Oh, so you were good at this stuff from your childhood
Bro,
age.
I literally learned how to do this because of wrestling. I had backstage, I had pre-tapes, I had promos, and it's weird because I didn't understand why I was doing it.
Yeah.
I was just this is what wrestling does.
Yeah.
This is all of wrestling, so I have to do this. So I would try to get my friends involved. In terms of what you're saying, there was one time where all the friends who liked wrestling came over for some sort of party, and we had a shoot fatal 4-way elimination.
Oh my gosh.
We did not know the business.
I did, of course.
So me and 3 other kids, one of them being Diego Yanez, the 2 other kids got eliminated, and then me and Diego went for an hour, shoot kicking out. I took a shoot code breaker.
Oh my
He caught me with one. Probably my first concussion. I still kicked out, and then at one point we're literally both dying on the net, and we're all messed up, and we just go tie, tie. All right, because I was it was at that moment where how do these people stay down for 3?
Yeah.
And that was the first inkling of all right, maybe something's wrong here.
What's going on here?
Yeah, because if we can wrestle for an hour, how do these matches on TV last 8 minutes?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it's so weird how I had all the knowledge of putting together a match, or not knowing how to do it, but here's the promo, here's the match, here's the storyline, here's this, yet still was this is real.
Yeah.
This is a real competition. So it's so weird now looking back on it, how in that case, I was like, no, this is how I want to build a story. But then when it came to me and my friends, I was like, no, this is real.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to actually fight.
We're going.
Use wrestling moves.
Yep.
Like, I don't know why I couldn't connect the two dots. But yeah, that was my trampoline experience.
Incredible.
I fell through a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time we moved. It was when we moved to Gilbert, and we had rocks underneath. And I did this big moonsault for the finish, and the trampoline ripped, so my knees went through the trampoline right into the rocks.
Oh,
Yeah, I took a gnarly knee bump. And I was like, and then I just kind of like laid there for a while. And I was like, this sucks. And I think at that time I was like 13, 14. Like, I was older.
Yeah.
My mom was like, maybe the trampoline is not for you anymore.
You're a little big for the trampoline.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my trampoline stories.
Incredible.
I did. Oh, so one time it was raining outside. So, and there was lightning. No trampoline. If it was rain was okay, but lightning wasn't.
Yeah.
And so, but I had a match I wanted to do, and I told you this story. So I did it in my room.
Yes.
I took the frog in my room, and I took a Canadian destroyer. Where he jumped off, because we did the Petey Williams AJ Styles finish where he jumps off the second into it. So he jumped off my bed into the Canadian destroyer, and I caught him and I went and I fucking rocked myself, dude. I landed right on my head and I was like, and then I just laid there forever. I was like, okay, I need to learn how to take these better. But then once I recovered, I just went and did it again. I was totally fine.
Yep.
I was like, all right.
Yep.
Yeah, I was also on. This is unrelated, but this is how psychotic I was. When I got too old for the trampoline, I took that not as like, hey, maybe you should relax. It was, okay, now I need to learn how to bump.
Yeah.
So I went and I had gymnastics mats, and the thin blue gymnastics mats.
Yep.
And I put it out in my garage, and I looked up how to bump on YouTube, and I took 100 bumps. Because everybody was like, you're going to bump 500 times your first time training, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I got to get... But I also know that they're like, your body gets used to it.
Yeah.
So in my logic, I was like, cool, if I take this many bumps a week until I go to wrestling school, I'm going to be fine.
Yep.
What a crazy decision that was.
What a wild decision.
Because my first night, I took 100 on a blue gymnastics mat in a concrete garage. And they were not good bumps, but I was still from my feet, throwing, smacking the mat, tucking my chin, like doing all the things. And long story short, don't do that. Just go to a wrestling school. It's way better.
Yes.
Way safer.
Yeah.
But that's how psychotic I was. I remember I told Gallo that story. He's like, oh, you're a psychopath. I was like, yeah.
You earned so much respect.
Oh, 100%.
Hearing that.
Because it was so weird, because after that story, he goes, oh, you like love wrestling.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And so ever since then, he's treated me differently.
Yeah.
Because I think, and just because of who he's around all the time, he doesn't see that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't just love wrestling. Like, you love everything about wrestling.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for people to understand that. But
Yeah. It's just funny how WWE did such a blatant job of saying don't try this at home, and we all tried this at home.
All of it. Yeah.
It's just it's one of those things where it's a miracle that there's so many things that should have probably killed all of us when we were growing up, this being very high up on that list.
Yeah. That's why every time a parent with their kid at like a show goes, he wants to wrestle now because of this, I go, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's always my answer.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's like, make him eat right, go to the gym, play sports, and then when he starts wrestling school, try your best to make sure he doesn't do anything wrestling related until he goes to wrestling school.
Yes, please.
Or she, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Oh yeah, my question.
All right, what do you got?
So, this is a interesting one. It's from Big Fern.
Big Fern.
Big Fern.
Yes, sir.
Is WWE and AEW very, very difficult to sign with compared to the mid 2000s?
Ooh.
And that was a very nuanced question.
Yeah.
So, this is my opinion. I don't. My opinion is not fact, obviously, and obviously we're not signed, so we don't have the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, that's kind of where I went to.
So well, first of all, in the mid 2000s, I would argue it was harder to get signed just by logic of there were less jobs.
Yeah,
Like AEW didn't exist.
yeah,
So TNA was just about signing contracts in the mid 2000s.
yeah,
Like 05-ish is when they really started going full time. And then even then you weren't making WWE money. But
Yeah.
even when you were signed to WWE, you weren't making current day WWE money.
Yep.
So I think a lot of people don't understand that WWE talent still has to, all they get is airplane or flights. They have to get their own hotels and they have to get their own rental
Cars,
cars.
yeah.
So you're like the minimum salary, right? Well, we don't know this for sure, but it was reported last year is $350,000 a year.
Yeah.
Minimum main roster salary.
Main roster, not NXT.
Yeah, not NXT. NXT is way
Yeah.
well, not way less, but probably way less.
Probably quite a bit less.
Because there's just so many recruits there.
Yeah.
Like you can't pay everyone $350,000.
Yeah.
You probably could because they're a $1 billion company, but
Right.
anyways, so minimum 350. Take into account now also there's less dates.
Yep.
But there's like downside guarantees, and people liked working the house shows because those worked for your downside. So you would end up making more, but now you don't travel as much. It's just weird. So that's getting away from the question. But there's a lot more that goes into it than you think.
Yeah.
Where I was going with that is WWE in the mid 2000s. If you were booked as an extra, there was a good chance you got like a tryout match.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as corporate. So like nowadays, it's such a process to even get noticed. But even if you are noticed, it's such a giant company that you're noticed in one area, but think about all the others, right? Like we've had people who have barely stepped into a ring get an interview because of their social media following.
Yep.
Or because they ran into someone at an expo.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, like that's how it is now. Like
Yeah.
it really is just where you are, who you're in front of, and what time you're in front of them. So I want to say it was harder back then, but you also had a more direct line.
Yeah.
Whereas like as soon as you found someone who would stick up for you,
Yeah.
and it was a little more like, hey, give this guy a shot,
Yep.
as opposed to now where we know people on the main roster who would speak for us, and they can't just go like, hey, give this guy a shot, you know, unless they're like top dog, which we don't know any like the
Right.
top guys, but unless you're them, and even then they're so busy, they can't just go like, hey, give this guy a shot. I would say there was a more direct line in the 2000s.
Yeah.
However, it was way harder because there were less spots, and AEW didn't exist, so you didn't like. There's just less spots, and you didn't have an alternate to even negotiate with.
Yeah.
And now it's awesome because you can play them off of each other. Like if you want to stay in WWE, but you're like, I can make more money if I just tease AEW.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Randy Orton did? It was like he had no intention to go, but they just like leaked something. And they were like, that's not happening. We'll pay you this much.
Well, Ziggler too. He talks
Yeah.
about it all the time. He's like, I gave him this number that was absurd, and I knew they weren't going to meet it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to AEW. Here's what I need to stay. And Vince was like, done.
Yeah.
He was like, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens for sure.
So yeah, I would say there are layers to the answer, in my opinion. And once you are signed, back then it was like we're either going to do something with you or we're not. Now they're kind of just signing people to have
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah.
So we know people who are still getting paid very well who haven't been used in over a year.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are they doing? They go, they just don't want to let me go.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. And
Yes.
if you're an artist because there are people who are like, yeah, man, I get paid to do nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then there are people who are like, I want to do something. I would rather not get paid and be able to do what I want than be here and, kind of suck it up.
Yep.
So there's pros and cons on all accounts, I think. And I don't think there's a right answer in terms of which is easier or which is more fulfilling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a very nuanced answer, and just kind of comparing now to then from what I know and what I've heard and learned is first and foremost, like early 2000s, there were monsters.
Shark Tank.
The Shark Tank, and the guys that they were looking at and bringing in were huge, physically huge. So there's that to think about too. Like Gallo always tells us, right? He was a small guy at 250.
Yeah.
And then you look at like Nykirk and Knox and like that and Val that were all kind of like doing stuff down here. They're all huge people.
Giants.
And so we're not small, and also we're not that big.
Yeah.
So that would be a barrier as well back then. But I remember Cornette saying one of his jobs at some point when he was with WWE was like he had some pull, or it was his job to recruit extras based on what town they were in. And so he had a couple guys, points of contact in the towns they would go to. And so if you knew that contact or were that contact, then you're getting like squash matches, or you're on the card or whatever. They're going to notice you.
Kind of like Nav was here.
Kind of
right?
like Nav was. Yeah.
Just a little bit like more direct back then.
Yeah. So like to your point, the things working against that would have been I'm just going to use us as an example. Things that would have been working against us in the early 2000s would have certainly been our size, and then depending on who we know. And like let's just use Navin as an example. There's I don't know, 500, 300 workers in the Phoenix area. He needs 3 people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know a huge chunk of those. Maybe he doesn't like a couple of them.
Yeah.
So like there's the politics getting involved, right? And the same thing in all the other towns. And so, but I do think one of the pros from back then was, this is a guess, I think overall there were probably less people wrestling on the indies. And because
it was kind of dead. Yeah.
Social media wasn't really a thing yet. And so there were just less companies and less kind of things happening, because that was really when the territories were kind of just finally gone. And it was that lull.
And it was big backyard territory because of the Attitude Era.
Yep. And then if you have guys like Cornette who are controlling the extras,
right.
You're a backyarder, forget about it.
Yeah.
You still have that old guard in there that's just not even going to entertain having a conversation.
Yeah.
But then fast forward to now, guys can get signed in their 5'4" and 120 pounds. You can get signed if you're 6'8" and 350 pounds.
Yeah.
So the spectrum of people who are getting signed is, for just body type alone, is way different. However, there are so many people wrestling, and there's so many more things that are involved in getting noticed and getting signed, like the social media, like your athletic background, like your professional background, like all these things they're looking at. So there's like kind of more of a pipeline now, I would say, but also there's just way more competition from my perspective.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and way more, like, how many times have we been told, like, we just need what we're looking for at that time?
Yeah.
It's because, like you said, there is way more competition and way more saturated. It just becomes, well, we need this niche role.
Yep.
Who out there has this niche?
Yep.
And that was kind of what we fell into.
Yep.
And it was, we won't say who, but they were like, yeah, when they ask, like, for a heavyweight tag team, we'll give you a call.
Yeah.
Well, when's that going to be?
Could be never.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just hang out until it's like, hey, I need a tag team. Just get me like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. These guys. You know, like some people are just waiting for that call.
Yep.
For Triple H or Tony to be like, hey, I need this.
Yep.
And then whoever they're, Sapolsky or I don't know if Christopher Daniels does scouting, but whoever in AEW is just like, oh, I know, like, I have these guys.
Yeah.
So it's very strange how now it's become, you have to fill a role that is, which it is back then, but back then it was, they would give you one.
Yeah.
It would be like, hey, you're a good worker, make this work.
Yeah.
As opposed to now they go, I just need somebody who does this.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Sure.
It's a very interesting shift.
Yeah, and I think kind of going back to what I said about there just being like less kind of people, I always think of Jericho and Storm and how they got into Smoky Mountain. They just sent Cornette a videotape with their highlights and promo pictures. And he went, these guys look good. They can work. If you get down here, I'll get something for you. Yeah. And that was that. Like, now it's like you have the WWE recruit page, you have extra work, you're doing like, we're constantly trying to like feed, like water all these different areas that we're trying to nourish to get us hopefully more recognition. So,
Yeah.
and again, I don't know if that's now understanding the complexities of what we're trying to do and kind of what it takes in a lot of instances, and just going like, man, things were simpler back then. It might have been extremely complicated to know how to get the recording information and skills to put your highlights onto a
Right.
VHS like that. Now that seems like, uh, medieval.
Yeah.
But back then it was like the cutting edge stuff. So that there could have been their own difficulties that go along with that stuff. But now looking back, it seems like, damn, that seems like a very pipelined way. If you're in shape and you can work a little bit, you can get an opportunity at a prominent company. And look what those two did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, one example, but I don't think there's a straight answer. And maybe when we get signed, we'll be able to comment more on that. But as it sits right now, man, it's hard to say.
Well, and everyone that we talk to who is signed, it's just like, dude, what do we gotta do? And they're like, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they all have their own unique story.
Yeah.
And so I used to get really frustrated with that because I was like, well, that doesn't help, but it
Yeah.
kind of does. Because then that led to my revelation of like, okay, then I'm just going to make my own unique story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to put myself in positions that I can get discovered. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're good and really good and you continuously get better and make a name for yourself, something's got to happen.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
It could be next year, it could be in 10 years, like with LA Knight. But something has to give.
Yeah.
Like, it just has to.
Yeah.
And I think that's where self-awareness comes in.
Yeah.
Because some people will just stick around in wrestling for 20 years, but not get better for that last 15 and go, something's got to give. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
like you have to continuously be kicking at the door
Yeah.
for it and not just like waiting outside.
Yeah.
Like you have to try to break the lock on the door as opposed to just like trying the handle every once in a while. Like, it's still locked, man. You're not wearing it down. But if you're getting better and your kicks are getting stronger and the door starts cracking, that's different. But if you're like, yeah, man, I'm just still around. I still check the knock every now and then. It's like, well, it's probably never going to open,
Max gave the best analogy for that. He was like, if you want a job at Subway, you can't just walk back and forth outside of Subway and they go, hey, man, do you want to come in and work for us? No, you have to go apply. And if they say no, ask what you need to fix and then apply again and continue that process.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. Really good question, Fern.
Yeah.
I like it.
And also, I hate to keep going on this, but now contracts are so different.
Yeah.
Like back then, it was you had the main roster deal and the developmental. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was like developmental was $500 a week.
Yeah.
And they would, if they brought you on the road, you would pay for the rental car,
Yeah.
or they would pay for the rental car because you were still developmental. And so, have you heard that story? Like some of the main roster boys would like young boy the developmental guys because they got the free rental car, so they would like buddy with them.
I believe it.
And then just so they'd have to pay for it. I'm like, that's so how that era was though.
Yeah.
But now there's per appearance deal, there's developmental deals, there's all these things where like we know talent, and I'm not throwing shade at all. I'm just giving examples on how varied. Like, what does signed wrestler mean to you? Because to me, signed wrestler means that's my job.
That's my income. That's what I pay my bills with.
I get paid a salary. I represent that company, and I'm a WWE, AEW, TNA, NWA star. That's what I am.
Yeah.
So when people say like, "Hey, what do you do?" I go, "I'm a pro wrestler."
Yep.
Really, for who? I have a company. Boom, right here.
Yep.
NWA, TNA, WWE. Like, I just have it.
Yep.
Whereas some people, it's like, "Oh yeah, I wrestle." Oh, cool. Like, you gonna get signed one day? Oh, I am signed. And they're like, "Oh, who do you work for?" They go, "Well, I'm signed to this deal with this company. They pay me, $300 a match, and it's whenever they use me. And then, but I work full time here." It's like, well, that's kind of like an indie with more loops.
Yeah.
It's great. It's progress. You should want that. And also, that to me isn't like a signed wrestler.
Yeah.
Which, and again, I'm not throwing shade at all. Because yes, technically you are signed, and it's more than I have.
Yeah.
So like, I really admire anyone who has that. And also, the definition to me is I work for one company, and with the indies if I need them or I want to have fun. but that's my brand and that's who I'm representing, and they're a priority on everything. That to me is what a signed wrestler is. So there's even a different meaning to what signed is now.
Yeah,
Whereas
of
back
course.
then, you get the call, hey, you're signed. My life changed.
Yeah.
You know, now it's, well, my life would kind of change,
Yeah.
but it's still the same.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
some of these contracts, you're like, oh, that's like what I'm doing now, but a little bit more money.
Yeah.
You know, which awesome, cool. And to me, it's just a different definition of signed.
Yeah. Refer to the beginning of every show how we give both of our professions that we are pursuing.
Yes.
There's a reason for that.
Yes.
We're not here to just say we're pro wrestlers because we're not signed.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Like, people, because I used to want to hide the fact that, oh, I want people to think I wrestle full time, and that's just not the reality of it.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like a fraud, and
Yeah.
it's just like, why do I do that? You know, and it's because I was told, well, you have to present yourself like a star and blah blah blah, and like, I get that. And also, I'm not gonna lie to my friends.
Yeah.
like my friends are like, dude, you doing that full time? I'm like, kind of. Like, I do it a lot, but I support myself with this, and luckily I have a cool job where they're like, oh wow, that's awesome.
That's
I'm
what I was
like,
going to say. We're stars
Yeah.
in our jobs, too.
Yeah.
We have cool jobs.
Yeah, that's fair. Because then, and also wrestling tends to dominate those conversations. Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
as soon as somebody finds out you're a wrestler, that becomes the conversation.
Yes.
It's very rare that, I told you that one time on the plane it happened to me where that older couple was like, oh, what are you here for? And I go, I'm here for work. They go, on a weekend? What do you do for work? And I'm like, oh, I'm a wrestler. And they're like, what do you mean? And I go, like, kind of like the WWE. I'm just not signed. So I explained it to them, and they just go, oh.
Yeah.
And turned away from me. And
Yeah.
I was like,
All right.
I'm not trying to be arrogant, but usually that's a
Yeah.
conversation starter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just, it's a unique thing, you know. Everyone, they all have some sort of memory tied to wrestling, or they want to learn more about it. And there's the go-to questions people have always, and
Yep.
it's a very unique thing. So one day that will be the only conversation I have, but it's just not yet.
Yeah. Until then, you guys get rants about us.
Yeah.
Or rants from us about this.
Yeah. About this and our shoot jobs.
And our shoot jobs, you bet.
All right.
Well, what do we have coming up this weekend?
So tomorrow we are in San Diego
San Diego.
for Future Stars of Wrestling, which is unique, at a lacrosse game,
Yep.
post game. Do you know where it is? Like, venue wise?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. The last time we did a post game lacrosse, it was awesome.
It was the coolest.
Because it was the Denver Nuggets Arena,
Ball Arena.
Ball Arena. It was almost sold out.
Yeah.
And like 3,000 of the lacrosse people stayed or something like that.
I think I've heard different numbers, but people have said as many as 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Either way, lots of people. Super cool experience.
So fun. So yeah, we're gonna do something like that tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's gonna be us two and a legendary Joe Graves.
The legendary Joe Graves.
I think the first time it's only been us three.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I'm
Yeah.
excited. And the first time, I think, since I've like truly gained his respect, where I'm not necessarily like his student. But
Sure.
he's still my mentor, but like
course.
it's different, you
Yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
that's always cool. It's really cool. And going back to what I said earlier about earning your keep and like outpacing the promotion, your trainers you should want to be your peers one day.
Yeah.
And I don't look at them as my peers, you know, but I think I've gained a lot of their respect, and it's always cool to feel that dynamic change and how they view you. Like with Gallo, like with
Yeah.
how he respects me
Yeah.
now. It's always, that should be one of your goals in wrestling, is to earn the respect of people that you respect.
Yeah.
You don't have to like go seeking everyone's respect, but I think that it's special when that happens.
For sure. For sure.
Sweet. This is kind of a long one.
Yeah.
All right. Probably all black phone too.
No. We had some good rants in there. And the black phone was awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. And do we have a sign out? Forgot.
I was just thinking. I was like, welcome back, or we'll see you next time in Pretty City. Like, I was like, no, that's not a thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're tired. It's a day off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh, I have therapy later.
Nice.
I'm gonna get to go to therapy. I'm
Nice.
excited.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It will be. Um, and then tomorrow's the show.
Yeah. Oh, here's a sign off because we're going to San Diego tomorrow.
Okay. Oh yeah, I did it. I know where you're going.
You stay classy, San Diego.
Nailed it.